This homework video is all about how to simplify algebraic expressions. So title this Algebraic Expressions, and don't forget to put the date in the upper right hand corner. First, let's talk about what is an expression. So you don't need to copy this whole table down, but I do want you to summarize the difference between an expression and an equation in your own words by looking at the examples in the table. So pause for a minute and write a sentence summarizing what you think the difference is between an expression and an equation. All right, so I'm hoping you noticed that all the equations had equal signs in them, whereas the expressions did not. Both the expressions and the equations had numbers and variables. Some of them had x, some of them had y, some of them had t or d or other letters, but none of the expressions had an equal sign, whereas all of the equations did. Equations have an equal sign, expressions do not. In fact, you can even say that an equation is just two expressions with an equal sign between them. All right, so now how do we simplify them? So an expression is just a way to summarize some information using letters and variables. So we're going to look at a kind of trivial example, but it'll get the job done. So Mark has 3 pencils, 5 pens, and 1 ruler in his backpack, and Jack has 1 pencil, 2 pens, and no rulers. The question is, how much do they have together? Now, we could just do this because we can add together the numbers, but we're going to model it using expressions to show how expressions work. So we're going to say that pencils are x, pens are y, and rulers are z. And we're going to do the same thing for Jack. Pencils are x, pens are y, and rulers are z. And so then we're going to write 2 expressions representing one for Mark and one for Jack. So the 3 pencils for Mark are 3x, the 5 pens are 5y, and the 1 ruler is a z. So that's Mark's expression. And then Jack's expression is going to be just 1x, 2 y's, and no z's. So I'm not going to put down any z's. So then I can see that I have 3 x's here and 1 x here. So that's a total of 4x. I can do the same thing for the y's. I've got 5 y's and 2 y's, giving me a total of 7 y's. And then I just have my 1 z. So my simplified expression is 4x plus 7y plus z, which should make sense with the original because I know that I have 4 pencils, 7 pens, and 1 ruler combined. So in summary, we wrote 1 rule for Mark, or 1 expression for Mark. We wrote another one for Jack, and then we combined them and simplified the terms that had the same variable by combining them together to get our final simplified answer. All right, it's example time. So now I want you to try to simplify this expression, 20x plus 5y plus 2x. Pause now. All right, so the first thing we want to do is we want to look for any terms that are similar. So the 20x and the 2x are both x's. So that means that we can combine 20x plus 2x to get 22x, and the 5y, that doesn't have anything that pairs with it, so it just stays the same. 5y is just 5y. So then I can write my full simplified expression. 22x plus 5y. The 20 and the 2 became 22. Okay, that one was pretty easy. Let's try it again with a harder one. Pause now. All right, so I'm going to start by identifying all of my x terms here. So I have negative 8x plus 3y plus negative 7x. So I need to combine all that. Hopefully you remember our rules about negatives. So negative 8x plus 3x would be negative 5x plus negative 7x. That would give me negative 12x. All right, x's are done. Now I'll do the y's. So I've got two y terms. I've got a negative 2y and just a 1y. So these are going to combine to a negative y. Because remember, I can put in, this is just a 1y. So this is really saying negative 2 plus 1 gives me a negative y. And then finally, I have to deal with the terms that don't have a variable at all. So that's 17 plus 5, which would be 22. So my simplified expression is negative 12x minus y plus 22. All right, time for the problem set. You've got 4 more to do. Notice some of them have decimals. One of them has fractions in it. Give them a shot. Pause now.